Hello there, and welcome to this little bit of a medley video, really. So it's a bit of an update video, it's a bit of a hobby haul video, and it's a tiny little bit of coverage on the recent Doncaster Race Course, British Festival of British Railway Modelling 2026. So as you can see, we're on a slightly different board than what's been put on recently. So we'll kind of cover the updates in brief, because they're going to get covered in later videos anyway. So essentially, the double O layout of ham wasn't working. I wasn't happy with it. The base board was too big, etc. So that has all now been, the board's been cut down into kind of like 2x4 individual boards. That'll get turned into a dogleg section. For Christmas, I got a 009 gauge coach, and I got the little Tallylin steam loco. So yeah, so I'm doing like a little 2x4 009 layout. Basically something nice and small, which I can mess around with building layouts and stuff like that, and then work on, building something up to a larger scale. Start off small, work up to bigger layouts. So that's that bit. I suppose next bit today, went to the Donny Race Course, Doncaster Race Course. Did the show, went to the Model Railway show. It's the first time I've been to a large exhibition event like that. It was quite impressive. I suppose that's another little bit of an update. So as it stands at the minute, I am off work, ill, because I've got something going on with my nerves or my back. They're not 100% sure. I've had MRIs on my back. I've had issues with my back for years and years and years and years. Essentially, what's happened is that my left leg has completely gone dead. It doesn't work anymore, which is a little bit annoying. So I'm kind of on crutches as it stands at the moment, which ties in nicely with this railway event, because the thing with the exhibitions, there was something like over 60 traders, quite a few layouts. Doncaster Race Course is a big area, but it's not a massive area. So it was busy, and you could feel it was busy. Essentially, it was a bit at places, but we did get round. For the most part, most people were really nice. I'd say it's a 64 split between the nice people, who were very kind of like accommodating the fact that I'm lumbering around on crutches, and the people who, let's just say, took the piss. So I have my camera. I'm trying to like balance with my camera to get some footage and some film and stuff like that, and take some pictures. You're waiting for other people to get to kind of like come through, because that's the polite thing to do. There was the odd occasion people deliberately, you could see it. You could see they kind of like ushered and pushed in front. Luckily, I'm not the shy retiring type when it comes to stuff like that. A lot of jobs that I've had in the past is me been looking after people with various different ailments, illnesses, and disabilities. So I'm quite happy to stand up for myself. But it was fine overall. It was brilliant. Just like I said, a bit busy. Some people were a bit rude, but overall, yeah, some great layouts. I mainly wanted to go with the idea of getting some ideas for certain things, to like how layouts work, how people do the exhibition circuit and stuff like that. Not that I'm thinking about doing exhibitions, maybe one day, but yeah, just kind of like looking at different bits and bats. So that was fun. There was some nice colliery layouts. There was a nice 009 layout, because at the minute 009 is very much my thing. I got a couple of bits and bats, which we'll go over in a minute. But yeah, so in fact, let's do the whole start with the the hobby hall ness now. So obviously, as I am off ill at the minute, my income is limited. So whereas previously I would have quite happily gone to a show like that, and I would have just taken a big old wad of money and just gone, you have some cash, you have some cash. I can't currently do that. Not that I'm a rich person. I'm very good at being poor. If that makes any sense. So prior to this, part of the new layout, it's gonna have some interest, like scenic interest into the way some ruins and stuff like that, and a bit of a woodland, and it's a bit of a mountain scene. There's a couple of different things go on to make it interesting for me to do modelling. There's a full video series coming of it. I've recorded the first 5 or 6 episodes, edited the first 4 or 5 episodes. So yeah, so we'll kind of do some of the boring bits now. Obviously, 009 is works on 9mm track, so it's like 9mm wide. It's essentially N gauge. So I bought some of these N gauge track screws to see if they're better, just to see how they work basically. Never thinking them. So that's a bit of a bit. All this came from Model Scenery Supplies because they have a good stock of both European and like a bit of everything, which was good, and the prices are pretty good as well. Next up, what have we got? So this is, again, as you can see, from Model Scenery Supplies, or from the website. So this is some 00 small animals, and it's a little set. It's very hard to see. It's very hard to see in real life, because they are ridiculously tiny. So it's like essentially like a little forest set, and what it's got in, it's got a variety of, I don't know how well this is going to show up. I'll try and find some stills as well. So you got like a little flowery mat, some owls, some birds, some snakes, rats or mice, some insects, some butterflies. It was only a couple of quid. I thought I'd give that a go, sort of have a look, see what it's like. They look good. They're from Bush, I think it is. She's not a company that I've heard of or I'm familiar with, but they do look like really nice, crisp print, and they're designed, like, if you can sort of like see the design to be painted on the sprue, which I like that. I like a bit of forethought in the planning process, because I have worked with some small things in the past, which essentially GW was it Games Workshop? Some of their sprues for plants and stuff like that look really great, but where they attach to the sprue, like this bit where it attaches to it, ideally you need to be painting them on the sprue. When you cut them off, that always leaves a little bit of a gap. Ideally you want something in an area where you can just get a little dab of paint and away you go. Some manufacturers don't really think that far ahead. But yeah, so in that there's some more, just basically little foresty animals just to dot about, which kind of brings us on to his next foresty set. So these are MPW deer in 00. I mean, technically speaking, if you want to be proper anal about it, these are essentially, some of this stuff would be classed as HO, but you can't really tell. Let me try and get the glare off that. So these are just a set of deer that were only a couple of quid, because I think they've been discontinued. So you've got some stags, we've got some deers. These will look nice in the little forest area. They need painting, but yeah, I like them. There's some baby deer as well. Can't remember what a baby deer is called. Is it a calf? You have bucks, roes. Is it a roe? Hinds? I can't remember. And then we got the archaeological set, which is great. I like this. This is by Knock, so this will be HO. You've got like a little skeleton in stone, which is good. And then you've got the instruments, and then just some nice Time Team-esque archaeological scenes going on. So they were specifically for this new layout to kind of like dot around the ruins. You know, we've got a bit of an archaeological dig going on, some investigation, which as a reenactor, that sort of stuff to me is brilliant. So then the next bunch of bits we've got are from the Donny Race Course show. So, first of all, as in no particular appearance, now I did end up spending a fair bit of money, but I deliberately started saving last year. We have got this Cato Large England class, and I think this is it Welsh Pony? Yes, Welsh Pony. Now, the reason I got this, there wasn't a massive amount of 009 stock, because it is a bit of a niche area, the old 009 stuff. This was by far the cheapest Welsh Pony. Like I said, I've already got one engine. I wanted a couple of engines to bulk up the fleet, just so I can have a bit of interest of everything running around and swap things out. So yeah, this is a large pony. This is most likely going to get, it's definitely going to get renamed. It's probably going to get repainted. Let's get into it, because it's a gorgeous little model. And at $139.99, it was a good price. It's all brand new. Move that. And as you can see, it comes separate with some little, I think the grab rails, grab handles, and they fit in various different places on the loco. It's got connectors on the tender, pickups on the tender. It's just a nice little loco. I think they're ugly, but I do like them. The tender looks really tiny on them, and the engine part looks massive, so it's kind of like Desperate Dan-esque type of loco, where, you know, you've got this big upper body and then this little lower half. But yeah, it's good. It runs pretty well. I've had it out and I've had it running. So that was the Large England. Really nicely detailed, really well finished. It comes with N-gauge couplings as well, or are they called Arnold couplings? So, because one of the things I'm planning to do, because one thing I'm quickly finding with 009 stuff is that it's expensive. It ain't cheap, because it is a niche. Now, a couple of things I found. If you look at HOE stuff, that's cheaper. And because this is essentially an N-gauge track that it runs on, you look at N-gauge wagons and stuff like that. Now, you can go to Pico and spend about 45 quid on a set of slate wagons, which, you know, are all right to do the business. They come with some extra couplings and stuff like that. But they're not brilliant. They're not worth it. 45 quid. Or you can go to like Rails of Sheffield. You can buy a second-hand plank wagon, which is 4 quid. Some minor modifications. That now looks like a 009. I mean, they look like 009 size wagons anyway. It's kind of excuse me, perfect. So this was my Valentine's Day gift, which won't fit in. I'll put a still up of this. So it's a hot wire cutter, because my old faithful one died on me. Thought I tried this one. This is a good thing about model. I've found with the model railway event, you can get some cheap tools and stuff like that. It's got the actual hot wire bit. It's got the a detail wand, and then it's got a long wand cutter. It runs on 4AA batteries. I always use rechargeable batteries anyway, so we should be pretty good on that front. That was some nice tools. Now, I can't remember what he's called. I think is it Little Blythe Railway. This was an instant find and steal. So this little bag of bits is some loco bodies and stuff like that. It cost me a whole £2. We've got 4472. We've got like a Scotsman chassis. I think what these have been used for, because I know he makes his own bits. I'll try and put a link up on screen if I remember. So that is an old Scotsman chassis. It's missing some bits, but it's a chassis. I can use it for spares. I can cut the boiler out of it and have that like just sat rusting away in a back seat or something like that. Stuff like that is always really useful, especially when it's £2. You go on eBay, someone will be trying to fleece that onto you for a £5 anyway. It also came with a Green Arrow chassis. I think this is off the Bachmann one, in nice kind of like black. I know it's Green Arrow because it's got some nameplates on Green Arrow, which is another thing. I could always pick those off. You know, it's got most of its little gear. It's got that beautiful pointy cab. All the handrails and buffers. Buffers are always useful to have. So again, it's useful. As the V's were one of my favourite classes, and then we got a cut down. I don't know what that's off of. It's a cut down something chassis. A little one. Some little. I don't even know if that's picked up on camera. It's that thin, but they're grab rails. It's boiler grab rails. Always useful for making your own grab rails. A little plate for the boilers to sit on. And then we've got, I can't remember what these were, but it's Manchester United with a removable nameplate. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I might take some of these bits off and sell them myself, because I've got no interest in Manchester United or football name trains, but the body is potentially useful. Some parts of it, but some of it might go on eBay as hauls. For the minute, it'll all go in my bits box. And then we've got some wheel sets. You know, these are your common I mean, this might even be off a Green Arrow. Common standard wheel sets, which are always very useful to have. We've got, you know, axles, which this is a split axle. The green wheels, we've got the like some green wheels. What 6 foot driving wheel. So yeah, so I've got a decent little set there for £2. That's thingy, and all his earnings, so to speak, go to cancer research, which is nice. What else have we got? Okay, so this is relevant to the other day when I was making. This is part of my Valentine's Day gift as well. I was making some mountains out of clay and some rocks, and these would have been really helpful then. So I saw these, and they was at the same store with the hot foam cutter. So the missus got me those and chucked those in. We went to, so this is from Petit Properties. It's not French. I just liked it. So nice little MDF kit, which is technically the blacksmith's arms. Smells lovely. So it's all laser cut MDF. Really nice ornate pieces, as you can sort of see. So we're going to build this up at some point. We just saw it. It were only $13.99, which for an MDF kit's pretty good. It gives me a chance to have a go at making some thatching. They've not put the details on the brickwork as well, which I quite like, because theirs is kind of like a daubed effect one that they had on display. There's a picture of that, should be floating up on screen now. But yeah, so $13.99, can't beat that. Then we got another little logo. Now this is I've already got one of these, but in green. So I got the green Tallylin. So it's Fletcher and Jennings and Co. 042 saddle tank. So this one. So usually these are about 130 quid at the show. Most of them were 126, 127. This were 115. I couldn't really say no to this one because I know it's a decent runner, and I can use the chassis, the chassis, because with 009 you get a lot of cool 3D print stuff, or I can repaint this one however I want. Because the other one, with it being a gift, I could repaint it, I could weather the hell out of it, like what I like doing, but you feel bad doing these things when someone's bought you nice pristine gifts, or I do anyway. So we'll have a nice engine, and we'll have a nasty engine. So these are all from Skytrack. They do a lot of 3D printed and white metal moulded stuff. So we've got some little barrels, some slightly bigger barrels. These are in sets of 3 and 4, all resin printed together. These are all individual little barrels, and then these are little crates. Reasonably well priced, I thought. Anyway, these I need these for set dressing and stuff like that. So yeah, I was happy with them. They do some gorgeous stuff, some gorgeous like railway tunnel mounds, some wall structures and stuff like that. So that was good. I would recommend them. They seem to make some good quality prints. Then we got, the Laboring Essentials bits. Another set of points, because they were going cheap at £15.10. These are just your standard little points. This is to update the current layout that I'm working on. So essentially I can get a fill yard coming off it. Some 009 rail joiners, because I lose these a lot. They're so small and fiddly and keep bending because of old hams here. So we got those. Then we got some of these, which are couplers for adapting N-gauge wagon chassis for 009 use. So they're going to be very useful in upgrading my N-gauge stuff, because I did have quite a bit of N-gauge stuff, and I sold it all to buy some 009 stuff instead, because I didn't like N-gauge. I did like it and I didn't like it. And then last but definitely not least, we got Buggles Kelly station there. Buggles Kelly station was there, who does all the 3D prints for Oh Mr. Porter and a bunch of other things. And this is old Bob, our mate Bob. Bob Sims. He did a lot of. He's done loads. So he was in the Navy, but he did loads for railway, model railways in particular. He tried to preserve some of the Waverley line as well. He was just a really cool guy. So yeah, good old Bob. We got a Bob. He's going to be on our layout somewhere. And yeah, that's it for kind of like the little haul. So it's not the most I've ever bought at any form of a show. Not the cheapest, but it was good. Now, because I'm a subscriber to BRM magazine, I did get a free ticket. So I bought a ticket for the missus, which were 16 quid. But overall it was quite a good and fun day out. So yeah, that's the old show covered. That's the update. Like I said, very, very soon we will have the new series coming to the YouTubes. I just need to upload them. I'm deliberately recording them, get them ahead, so then we can, there's no panic whether I'll record the full series and then publish it when it's already done. I could do. Not that there'll be many people commenting and stuff like that on it. The downside of that is if you do it all ahead and someone has a cracking idea and you're already, you know, the idea came on episode 5 and you're already on episode 27, you're like, oh, I would have loved to do that, but to now incorporate it, I'm going to have to rip everything up. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So I thank you for watching as ever. Hopefully this will turn out all right with the footage wise and the sound wise, because one of the things I've done as well is I've dug out all my old camera gear, so this has been recorded on my old Panasonic camcorder. What is it, the AG 2797A or something like that? I can't remember. It was like not quite top of the line, but it was up there when I first got it. Anyway, enough about camera gear. As ever, thank you for watching, and until next time.